I've told you so many times you'd think you'd know my story's not changing. You've already changed your story, stick boy. And I'm sure it will change some more. Alright. Yeah! It's got my little Power Ranger Maya cheering me on. I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina. Okay, good. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max in the plaza that night. He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. I'm absolutely sure it was him. I saw Max at the scene. There's no way I could mistake someone wearing those 3 ridiculous symbols. Huh. So that means that Money didn't show up until after you saw Max. That's right. Money ran up less than a minute after I saw Max. Then Money snatched the ring and you went chasing after him. So he did definitely see Max. Well, that's... crap. So let's see, I'd say about... I suppose 5 minutes, I think. So the victim could have arrived on the scene in that 5-minute stretch. Mr. Wright, please proceed with your cross-examination. Oh. See, the thing is the footsteps, you know. But then again, we'll get to that eventually, I guess. I'll give you that I was waiting for that night for Regina. Don't worry, ain't that sweet. So you were only concerned with waiting for Regina that night. That means you probably wouldn't have noticed if someone else showed up. You should think about how many eyes I actually have. I've got 4, you know. 4. F-O-U-R. Counting Ben, of course. With that many eyes, do you really think something would have slipped by me? 4 eyes is an awful lot of attention directed at one area, I suppose. Oh, man. That doesn't change the fact that I saw Max. Yeah, you did. We heard you. The other 10 times that you said it. So you saw Max coming out of the big top that night. Of course that's where I saw him coming from. I was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time. He was staring at the entrance to the tent the entire time, huh? Is there another exit? Possibly? He showed up after I had been waiting there for about 5 minutes. Okay. So, that would be like 10:05, I guess. You're one of the dumbest people on the planet if you can't figure it out yourself. You already know that practice finished probably at 10 p.m. And you already know that I went to the lodging house right after practice. You don't need to be a brain surgeon to know around what time was when I saw him. Just add 10 more minutes, I'm sure you can do that. Now, what time was it? Indeed, what time was it? What time was it? Let me think about that for a second. It was 10:10 p.m. Oh, yeah, that sounds right. Well, I was wrong. Jeez. Sounds about right, because that's the time that I saw Max. I said good evening to him, but he didn't even acknowledge my presence. So you testified that you said good evening to Max that night. You must enjoy asking incredibly obvious questions. You say good morning in the morning and good afternoon during the day, right? And it's obvious that I say good night to someone at night. What, Ben? You got something to add? Let me guess, that's not it, Trillo. You say good evening at night. I'm sorry, Trillo. This guy is like... I'm at a loss for words, like, honestly. Mr. Quist, I would prefer if you kept your ventriloquist act outside of the courtroom. Impossible! A performer lives and breathes his performances. You should know better. There's gotta be something wrong with this bit of testimony. Yeah, that is kind of weird. Isn't that a bit strange to you? What do you mean? Well, he doesn't strike me as the kind of person that would be that friendly, to be honest. If you hate Max so much, why would you bother being nice to him? Yeah! Because weren't they just in a fight earlier that day? Why would it strike you as strange? Exactly. How is it strange to be cordial to one of your cordial, I'm not sure how you... Well, if it was simply just being cordial to a coworker, I would understand. Ow, that hurt! When all the other ones were fine, but that one... Proof is everything in this world. You should have learned that back in grade school. Yeah, well, the thing is, it was Ben that he clocked with the bottle, but at this point, I have, I mean, even though Ben and Trillo are kind of like separate characters, they might as well be the same guy. Like, Ben has to pay for what Trillo says, because he is responsible for what Trillo says. At least I think. Unless this is some serious, like, I don't know, man, Night of the Living Dead shit going on here or something. Okay, I got a little scared there because somebody told me, and this is not a spoiler, I mean, I don't consider this to be a spoiler, and I'm glad they told me. Somebody told me there is one point in this case where you can press a statement, and after you do, it'll ask you for evidence. Just from pressing, it'll ask you for evidence, and there is no correct answer, and it's like a trap, and it instantly, like, cuts off 80% of your health or something like that. So I was thinking that was it there just now, so I don't know. So, I mean, obviously it wasn't, but if you were sure you saw him at the scene, you said that a million times. There is, but I gotta figure out how to, like... Hang on. I know we got this, I just have to find the right... I'll give you that I was raising that night for Regina. But that doesn't change the fact that I saw Max. He showed up after I'd been waiting there for about 5 minutes. I said good evening to him. Okay, here. Right here is the problem. Because, I mean, it's one thing to be polite to somebody, but you wouldn't have said that to someone you just had a fight with. Is there any other evidence of the fight, though? Because I don't know. I mean, this seems kind of weird if you say, oh, well, this bottle is the proof that you couldn't have said good evening to somebody. I mean, there's a lot of stretching there. But I'll try it. It's probably the closest thing I got. Trillo, is it not true that you had a fight with Max on the day of the murder? A fight? A fight over Regina, to be exact. It wasn't that big of a deal. It was just an argument. A disagreement at most. Disagreement usually doesn't end with someone getting clonked over the head. Boom! That was it. Sweet. Man. This seems easier than the first game by a huge margin. Of course, isn't it weird, though, that this is the game I actually game overed on. I can't even remember if I game over in the first game, but I have so far once here, so maybe I shouldn't be so quick to say that. The truth is that on the day of the crime, the defendant and witness had a huge fight. There's absolutely no way they would suddenly become cordial that evening. Well, that's not impossible. I mean, they could have worked things out over the course of the day. Moreover, just consider the personality of the witness on stand. Well, there is that, too. Boy. No, but that's subjective. It's, the lewd part. So I didn't tell a single lie, honestly. That's enough from you, Mr. Quist. Let's clarify this testimony for the court. Could you explain your theory about who the witness actually saw that night? Wait a minute. He didn't see anyone. He saw the defendant. Well, I don't doubt that he saw the defendant, because, I mean, he done said it like 8 times. The thing is, he should have seen the other guy, too, though. Because we went over that earlier, but then they just kind of brushed it off. He saw a different person. It's my belief that the witness did indeed see someone that night. It was just someone else. That's who he said good evening to. Wait, what? What kind of theory is that? The correct one. Furthermore, I don't believe the person that the witness saw was Max at all. What? If he had truly met Max that night, there would have been no greeting at all. Which means there's only one proper answer. The person the witness saw that night was not Max. That is why Trillo made the effort to greet whoever it was that he saw that evening. Or good evening, as he put it. What in the world? You... Are we sure that he even knew who it was, though? Because it was nighttime. He might have just said good evening, not knowing who it was. And then, like, you know, even in that case, he could have realized after he said it that it was Max. And then been like, oh shit, you know, because you can't take it back. Anyway, who it was. It was Russell Berry. It had to be. Considering the ill temper of this witness, there is only one person he would greet. What the heck? Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I suppose you got a point there. It was Russell Berry, the victim himself, was it not? What? Why are you helping me? The person you saw that evening was the victim, the ringmaster, Russell Berry. That's why you greeted him, Trillo, isn't that correct? Gulp. I wonder how that feels to Russell's hand when Trillo gulps. Answer the question, Mr. Quist. Or just explode. That works too. Wait a second. Well, at first I thought it was the old man. But once I got a better look at him, it was obviously Max. Oh, boy. This just keeps going nowhere. I think it's high time that we opened our eyes and realized... No, that we cleared the air about this question. Mr. Quist obviously witnessed a single person in the area of the plaza that evening. The problem is identifying exactly who that person was. Was it Max? Or was it the ringmaster? Yeah. And I say it was the ringmaster. Yeah, that's true. Oh no, not again. Everyone all together now. Ow! Yes, yes, we know. Blah, blah, blah. They even look good on damn. What was that? Well, the witness has endlessly repeated that he saw Max's 3 symbols. However, how do we really know it was Max? It could have been someone else dressed up as him. Remember the samurai case? Okay, that's weird. Why would Russell do that, though? Miss Von Karma. Do you have clear evidence that the person the witness saw was the defendant? Well, I don't know. If that's the case, it is impossible for me to make a judgment to this point. Yeah, I don't know, though, man. That is very unfortunate. Oh, no. You're just a little too excited for your own good, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? What do you mean by that? You merely established one thing from this witness. You established that this witness saw one person in the plaza that night. I applaud you on your effort, but... who that person was can only be answered by the next witness. The next witness? Boy, who's he gonna call up here next? I don't even know. Your Honor, the prosecution will provide beyond the shadow of a doubt an answer to that question. And evidence that clearly establishes one thing. That there is no one other than Max responsible for this crime. Very well. Well, she still has to call that other guy, the fat guy. The 46-year-old. During that time, I request the prosecution prepare their next witness. Get his makeup ready. whatever else he needs. To be continued. Wow. That seemed awfully fast. Then again, we're still in court here. Like, usually I think of it as, like, court, then investigation, then court, then investigation. But I'm not used to it, like, stopping in the middle of court and then going back to court and letting you save in between. I can't even remember if the first game did that or not. Either way, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording at this point. So, next time on Phoenix Wright, we will hear the testimony of Mo the Clown. See you guys later.